Welcome to Trial by Wine. We take a closer look at crimes that highlight how fascinating humans can be. Schmitty, Swanee and Clarky visit crimes and run them through their jury of three, debating both sides of the case to agree an appropriate, if totally fictitious, sentence. Please be advised, Trial by Wine may include explicit or disturbing content and will include drunken rambling. Listener discretion is advised. Alrighty, how are we?
Oh, all the better for seeing your big smile then.
Yeah,
Super duper.
You look very excited to see us.
I am. It's because I'm basically just at home all the time with Tony.
Oh.
So I am very much enjoying having a bit of someone else time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
social
lovely.
moment. Yes, it's lovely. Yes.
Oh,
And how are you guys?
very well, thank you. I'm just back from a little
It looked fabulous. Yes.
holiday.
European holiday.
Yes,
Mhm.
little Euro summer. That was
Euro
very
jaunt.
nice.
Mhm.
And we moved around quite a lot. So there was a little bit too much travel within a set period. But we didn't have anywhere to necessarily be. So what we did was we went and stayed with friends, which did mean it was a bit bitsy in terms of moving around quite a lot. When we went to people's places, we were able to really sort of chill out.
Relax.
So it was very nice. It was a lot of hanging out, which was
That's kind of what
Quite
our holidays
nice,
are
yeah.
like now. Because
Yeah, it
when
was
we
a
go to
hanging
Europe,
out.
we
Yeah.
visit this person, hang out with them, then we
That's
visit
what we
another
did.
one.
It was a lot
and-
of hanging around
Yeah.
with old friends. Yes. It was
yeah, and
very
that's
nice.
lovely. Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of it, really.
Great.
What about you guys? What's been happening in my absence?
Well, not much for me.
Oh.
I've just been doing recovery and rehab, but boys,
Clarky's like,
I'd love to tell you there's
been
been a whole lot of
cycling through the
exciting
flu.
things. It's like exactly. It's been winter. It's been
Yeah.
cold and miserable,
been
and it has
freezing,
never been
yeah.
that cold and miserable. We've actually had some beautiful sunny days, but
Yep.
it's still
Winter.
not summer.
Yep.
And there's been a horrible sickness going around at work, all of that stuff. So, yeah, not a lot of exciting things. That's kind of it. Although we are 2.5 weeks away from our Queensland
it's
holiday,
2.5
which
weeks,
will
right,
be
good. I did wanna know.
warmer.
Hurrah.
And we're
Yeah.
very excited about that. So, yeah.
Excellent. Trying to put in the group chat something to share with you about, I suppose, excitement for me.
Mhm.
And there we go. All right. So, to your point about it being freezing cold, it has been quite chilly. And because I live out in the country, Sunbury, it's quite cold. And the house is covered in like tiles. It's very late 90s build.
Mm.
Yeah.
So all of the family room, the back room or whatever is all freezing cold tiles, which makes it even colder. So a
Yeah.
few weeks back, I got on Marketplace and I bought these 2 French Aubusson carpet runners because I particularly don't like where the hall, because it's an open, you know, the lounge room. When you first walk in, it's open.
Yeah.
And then you've got this tile down the middle of it. It's freezing. So I got that and I don't care if people tell me it's just psychosomatic. I immediately felt like it was warmer because we had a bit of
It
carpet
definitely
down
would
over
have
the
been.
top.
'Cause you're not on cold
Yeah.
floor.
So
Yeah.
what you are beholding on the group
It's
chat,
not the runner.
it's not the runner. No.
No. It's
This
the big,
is a
Unless it's
4.5 metre times 3.7 metre genuine silk and wool
Fakari rug.
French
Fakari rug.
and Aubusson Fakari rug. No, it's not Fakari rug. Genuine item, right? Which I got again on Marketplace. Absolute bargain. A woman sadly passed away. It was a deceased estate.
Yep.
In Aberfeldy, and they're getting rid of the people who'd owned this house. It was a $4.5 million house. It was decked out in this sort of French style. It was so fancy. The grandmother had been like really big on it, and the granddaughter who sold me the rug said someone had contacted her and said, "Is it polyester?" To which she said, "If my grandmother were alive, she would just say, 'Shame on you.'" And too right.
If Darren was alive, he'd say shame on
I
you.
know.
Yeah.
I know. And
He's
so I
probably
suppose
stirring
that's
he's
in
shame,
his
shame.
grave.
He's shame,
He
shame,
would.
shame. I've got that
He
wrong,
would have
so.
shamed in
Yep.
a backfoot roll. So that was, I suppose, my big news is I got this massive rug. Because how's that though for the universe listening? Because I was like, I want something in that same style. What are the chances of getting a genuine rug that probably when she bought it was $10,000-$15,000? Like it's the real deal. It's massive for that space. And
it fits beautifully.
it didn't cost.
I
anything like
cannot
that for me.
imagine how
It's
much
extraordinary.
cozier that room is as a result.
Hugely.
It would totally
yes.
change the comfort
Hugely,
level
so
of
much warmer and it
moving
feels
around.
bigger,
So-
weirdly.
Yeah. Really?
It's
Well,
so
that's good.
odd. Apparently, the original owner also never let anyone really walk on it, so it's virtually brand new.
It's in incredible condition.
It's incredible. So that's my big news is I bought a rug.
And there's no blood stains or anything on it?
Oh, yeah.
No blood stains.
You could roll a body up in it quite nicely.
Yeah,
You could roll 10 bodies
Two,
up
I was
in it.
gonna say, quite a few.
Massive. But it's also very heavy. So it would be, you could roll them up, but it'd be hard to get them out. Yes. So suppose we should introduce ourselves. I'm Schmitty.
I'm Swanee.
And I'm Clarky. And together we are
Trial
by Wine.
And what are we drinking?
Oh,
Wow.
I'm on my first Coke Zero of the day.
Oh, look at you.
Oh, nice. We're having wine.
Ooh, a Helden
lovely.
Chardonnay. Very nice.
Yes.
Living up
we
to the
decided
name.
to treat ourselves. Yes.
Good. Well, I'm
And how
going back
about
to an
you?
old classic. I'm going to have a
The mango chutney in a can.
In a can. I know. That's the
Welcome
disappointing
back.
part of it.
Yeah, it is.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome
I'm not a
back.
fan of the
I'm not a fan of
new
the can
packaging.
either.
Show me
No.
again.
It's
I like the Darrow bottle. The can just
yeah, I
does it
know.
no
It
justice.
just cheapens it.
You
doesn't
can't
it?
see the
No.
toxic orange colour of it or anything.
For listeners who have not gone back to whatever episode it was when they started calling them mango chutneys, I'm actually drinking a vodka cruiser, 0 sugar, mango raspberry flavoured thing, but which Swanee likes to call mango chutney. Cheers. Has anyone got a story for us?
I do, yes.
Woohoo!
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, tell us.
Should we do it?
Let's.
Okay, so I'm going to start with my sources. It's only a very short list. So Wikipedia, thecinemaholic.com, and Thar Tribune.
Thar
Thar
T-H-A?
Tribune. So
Oh, Thar.
Thar. Thar, like Thor, but with an A.
Okay.
Is that a
Yeah.
place?
I think so, yes.
Hmm.
So I recently came across a story involving brothers, and I thought, this will be a good one for us to do. Anyway, when I looked into it a little bit more, I found out that it hadn't gone to trial yet. So it's on the back burner for a future episode.
Yeah.
But then I thought, I wonder what other crimes there are involving brothers.
Yes, those, what were they called? Not Ramirez, Menendez.
The Menendez.
Yeah,
there's some Menendez. I think, did Swanee already do that? I can't remember.
We haven't done it.
Did someone do that?
We haven't done it.
Oh, did I?
Yep.
Now that I said it,
We haven't done it.
I think we just
No.
talked about it.
That's
We
my
talk
mentality.
about
I must
them
have watched it on
sometimes.
Netflix,
Yeah,
not
watched it.
heard it from Swanee. Yeah. Anyway, so yes, of course, there's a few that would spring to mind, but I found this one and I'd never heard of it, and I was quite surprised that I hadn't heard of it. And in some ways, I'm not going to tell you a lot about the parents, but it's just keep the parents in mind all the way through. It's really a story about how some families have to endure a lot, and it just made me go straight to, my God, the poor parents. How have they coped with all of this? It's probably a little bit confusing, hard for me to explain at this point of the story without giving anything away. So stick with me and you will find out. It's a two-parter, and it's a two-parter because the story isn't about one story about the two brothers. It's two stories, one about one brother, one about the other brother.
Oh.
So the first...
Trust me, families, this is not something you want to have happen. You do not want your children to be able to offer you not one, but 2 episodes on Trial by Wine.
I promise you.
It's not an accolade people should be reaching for.
You do not want that. So
No.
the two brothers are Steven and Carey Stayner.
Oh.
And Steven was the third of 5 children born to Delbert and Kay Stayner. So the first part is going to be about Steven Stayner. So he was the third of 5 born to Delbert and Kay Stayner in Merced, California.
Delbert. I was going to say that's
sisters.
got to be an American. This has got to be an American story.
Yeah,
With a name like Delbert.
it is.
Yep. Okay.
Yes. And he had 3 sisters and an older brother, Carey. Let's start with Steven. We're heading back to the afternoon of December 4, 1972. And we're in Merced near Yosemite National Park in California.
What's it called?
Merced?
Merced?
Merced. I'm assuming it's pronounced Merced.
Okay.
It's a cold, wintry day, and Steven Stayner is a freckle-faced second grader walking home from Charles Wright Elementary along Highway 140 when a white Buick pulls up next to him. There are two men in the car, and one gets out saying he's a representative of a local church seeking donations for his parish. Stephen doesn't have any money, and
From a
so the
child.
man, the man asks him if his mother had any items she would be willing to give to the church. Stephen thought that she would, and so the man offers to take him home so he could ask his mother for a donation. Right? He was initially hesitant to get in the stranger's vehicle. However, the man was convincingly genuine, and the offer of a ride home in the cold winter weather was too good to pass up. So he got into the Buick. They drove off, but it wasn't long before a confused Stephen realised they weren't heading in the direction of his home. At one point, they stopped the car and at a payside. Sorry, start that again. At one point, they stopped the car. Hang on, how about I put my glasses on?
Yeah,
and
that
then
always
I'll even be
helps.
able to read without trying to use the glasses. Oh, look at that. Wow, there's words on this page.
Eyes, yes.
And
We've
the
all
words
got
are
our
made
eyes
of
on.
letters. Yeah. At one point, they stopped the car at a payphone beside the road, and one of the men got out. He went to the payphone, made a call, and then got back into the car and said to Stephen, "Your parents, I just spoke to them. They no longer want you because they can't afford you." Stephen was understandably terrified and very,
surprised.
very hurt.
What?
But he,
Haven't
but he
mentioned this.
believed the man who said that his family had abandoned him, and so he didn't try to scream or jump out of the vehicle.
that's
He just sat in the back
awful.
going, "What on earth has just happened? This is the worst day of my life."
Oh,
This is
poor
not good.
baby.
Oh, how old was he? Second grade. So what's that? 6, 7?
Yeah, probably.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay,
7,
so-
I would say. No
Yeah.
more than 7. Like
Yeah.
kinder is sort of 4, 5,
Yeah.
grade 1, 5, 6, 6, 7, maybe.
Yeah.
6, 7. Anyone
Yeah,
that knows
that's the
kids?
thing.
6,
Kids,
7.
6, 7, whatever that's about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what
Oh.
Stephen didn't realise is that one of his abductors was Kenneth Parnell, a convicted child molester.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me.
Now,
No.
that's the one thing that he...
So Kenneth had met his accomplice, Irvin Edward Murphy, a trusting, naive, and simple-minded man, when they worked together at a resort in Yosemite National Park. Parnell had passed himself off to Murphy as an aspiring minister and convinced him to help abduct a young boy so that Parnell could raise him in a religious-type deal. That was what Murphy said later on. And raise him in a religious type deal is in inverted commas, like it's a direct quote. At home, Stephen's parents, Delbert and Kay, realised that he was extremely late to be getting home from school and contacted the Merced police. The police immediately launched a search effort canvassing the area along Stephen's route home where he was last seen. However, there were no witnesses, no leads, and over time the trail went cold. Back to Stephen and his abductors, they had driven to a cabin in Cathy's Valley. On that first night, Parnell sexually assaulted Stephen.
Ugh.
And he did this on a regular basis.
Yeah.
He continually reinforced that Stephen's family did not want him and told Stephen that he was adopting him. On one occasion, Parnell pretended to take a phone call from Stephen's mother confirming her decision to abandon her son. Parnell also told Stephen that a judge had awarded him custody. He then changed Stephen's name to Dennis and enrolled him in school.
Oh!
How's that?
The balls. Jesus.
Yeah. And so began 7 years of isolation, psychological manipulation, and abuse.
How far away had he taken him? English, maybe.
Clarky.
A couple of
We are
hours.
very alike.
No, so I was going to
Where's
come
Cathy's
to this later.
Valleys or whatever it was
Oh,
So
called?
yeah,
Cathy's Valley is just half an hour from his hometown of
Oh,
Merced.
no.
So it's not that far away.
Get this. The place the cabin in Cathy's Valley was
Yeah.
100 yards from Stephen's maternal grandfather's property.
Oh,
Like
my
it's-
God.
He's practically a neighbour
Next door. Yeah,
in the
to his
context of
own
where I
grandfather.
live. That's
Yeah.
a neighbour,
Yep.
Yeah.
like a next door neighbour.
Oh, this is awful.
Oh, the poor boy.
So Kenneth was born. So who is Kenneth Parnell? Kenneth was born on the 26th of September 1931 in Texas. He grew up during the Depression in an unstable and dysfunctional home. His father abandoned the family when he was 6, something that Kenneth struggled with for a long time. His mother relocated the family to Bakersfield, California, where they lived in a boarding lodge. Whilst Kenneth's mum ran the lodge, he was unsupervised, and this made him vulnerable to sexual assault by some of the adult boarders in the home. What happened to him during that time set him on a path, and by his late 30s and 40s, he was in and out of juvenile custody for arson and theft. In 1951, he bought a fake deputy sheriff badge and used it to impersonate an officer to kidnap an 8-year-old in Bakersfield. He was subsequently caught and convicted of child abduction. Whilst he was awaiting sentencing, Kenneth was held in a state institution in Norwalk, California. He escaped at one point where he was re-caught and sentenced to 4 years in San Quentin prison. He was released in 1955 and had to register as a sex offender in Kern County. He violated the terms of his release almost immediately and was sent back to San Quentin. And in 1956, he was released and left California for Utah, where he was arrested for armed robbery and grand larceny. This time he was sentenced to 5 years to life. But guess what? He only served 6 years before being released.
Model prisoner?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Found God.
So back to the cabin, which, as I said, was only 100 yards from his grandfather's property. Outside of the abuse, Steven was leading a relatively normal life. He appeared normal to most of his classmates, and Parnell was alternating between treating him well and sexually abusing him.
And he was now known as
Dennis.
Dennis.
Did I say Dennis?
You said something that started with
Dennis.
J.
Yes.
Dennis.
Sorry.
Dennis.
Yes, Dennis.
Yeah.
Dennis.
Yep.
Okay.
Parnell had also introduced Steven to alcohol and marijuana, believing he'd been abandoned by his family. These were a welcome escape from his trauma. Kenneth also invited a woman named Barbara Matthias. Matthias?
Yeah.
Matthias.
Probably Matthias.
Matthias.
Yeah.
To stay with them, and she abused Steven as she pleased.
Oh, Jesus.
She was also there to help Kenneth maintain the charade of being part of a family. Hang on, I'm going to have a wine.
People are disgusting.
Mm-hmm. From Kenneth's perspective, all was going swimmingly. That is, until Steven began to grow older and Kenneth lost sexual interest in him. So he needed...
got too old.
Oh, like,
that's foul.
Fucking hell. He needed a younger boy to replace Steven.
So if he was with him for like 7 years, so he's like maxing out at about probably 14 or something now, is he? Going into puberty.
Yeah, kind of.
13, 14 probably, yeah.
Starting to look like more of a young man than a child.
Yes.
So he's no longer attractive.
Oh,
fucking hell.
That's gross.
So Kenneth enlisted the help of Barbara to abduct another child from the Santa Rosa Boys Club that Steven attended. The plan was that she would use Steven as bait to make the boy comfortable enough to hang around Kenneth's vehicle. However, the plan failed and Barbara ended up leaving the household.
Good.
oh.
As Steven got older, he was afforded more freedom, but he didn't consider escaping as he believed his parents had abandoned him and Kenneth had adopted him. So he's
Poor guy.
full on believing that this is his home for now.
Yep.
Kenneth then moved Steven to Comptje.
I believe you.
I don't really... my pronunciation of these words is terrible. Apologies to anybody who actually
It's
knows
from
how these
Comptje?
should be said. Yeah. A small remote community in Mendocino County.
Mendocino, I reckon.
Mendocino, like Montesino.
I just
don't
feel
know.
like a lot of those pronunciations have more of the Spanish sound than the Italian sound.
Yeah, they
right.
would in
That's-
California,
It's a good call. It's a good call. Mendocino. Kenneth worked menial jobs and enrolled Steven into a local school under the name Dennis Parnell. And Dennis flourished academically despite the home situation. And of course, Kenneth began planning new abductions. He tried enlisting the help of Steven, however, Steven was not having a bar of it and sabotaged every attempt.
Good.
Well played, Stephen.
Just, can break the cycle. Yep.
So Kenneth recruited a local team named Randall Sean Poorman, bribing him with alcohol, marijuana, and $50 to get him to participate. On Valentine's Day in 1980, 5-year-old Timothy White was playing outside his home in Ukiah, California, when he was approached by Poorman. Timothy refused to go with him, so Poorman shoved him against a fence and then dragged him into his car whilst young Timothy screamed.
Oh.
Poorman got Timothy back to Kenneth, who immediately cut his blonde hair and dyed it dark brown so that he didn't match any missing persons posters that may crop up. Kenneth worked on Timothy while Stephen watched, trying to break him down. Stephen didn't watch trying to break him down. Stephen watched while Kenneth tried to break Timothy down.
Mm.
He told Timothy that his parents had abandoned him, but Timothy refused to accept the story. He cried every day for his mother and father, and Stephen saw it all.
I was just say, did this, woke him up and was like, hang on, what a coinkydink.
Look at you go. He knew that Timothy's family was searching for him and realised the extent to which Kenneth lied. This made him wonder if his own family might still be doing the same. That must be a horrible realisation to go, shit, I just believed this bloke. Like there'd be a lot of self-doubt that would throw on yourself.
There's also a lot of guilt later on because you'd be like, why did I just believe it? But you were 7. Well,
Yeah. And he was obviously very convincing.
Yeah.
But it just made me think, of course, there's all that other trauma that's going on, but that bit must just be another kind of kick in the guts. On the 1st of March 1980, Stephen and Timothy were alone at home whilst Kenneth worked night shift as a hotel clerk. Stephen saw the opportunity and led Timothy out of the cabin, and together they hitchhiked 40 miles down the highway in the dark until they reached Ukiah. And once there, Stephen took Timothy straight to the police station.
Good boy.
The police recognised Timothy despite his dark hair and initially wondered if Stephen was his abductor.
Mm.
They asked him for his name and where he lived. Stephen replied, "My name is Dennis Gregory Parnell, but I know my first name is Stephen. I'm pretty sure my last is Stayner, and if I have a middle name, I don't know it." Officers ran his name through the system and contacted Merced Police Department. And that is how, at around 2:30 a.m. on the 2nd of March 1980, more than 7 years after his abduction, police knocked on the door of Delbert and Kay Stayner to advise that they may have found their missing son.
Oh my God! Could you imagine it?
It sends goosebumps down my spine. Could you imagine?
I just had a chill from that. Yeah.
Kay was shocked, thinking it was a cruel joke, until the police confirmed the teen that they had found had birthmarks that matched Stephen's.
Wow.
Stephen was driven home to Merced under police escort, and as he walked down the driveway of his home, a flurry of media cameras captured his homecoming.
Oh, the poor kid.
Whilst at the police station, Stephen had told the investigators about Parnell and the remote cabin where he had been keeping the boys. Armed with this information, also on the 2nd of March, police walked into the hotel lobby where Kenneth was working and arrested him. And when they ran his fingerprints, they learned of his previous sodomy and robbery convictions. Stephen hadn't told the police about his own sexual abuse at the hands of Kenneth. So, of course, once they found this out, they also arrested Irvin Murphy and Sean Poorman for their involvement in the abductions. The homecoming did not mean complete recovery.
No.
Though a later film would portray the conflicts would portray that the conflicts were between him and his parents, Stephen admitted that the problems were with his siblings. He had lived alone for so long that it was now difficult to reintegrate and follow family rules. Stephen also confirmed that his relationship with his brother was strained. During a 2007 interview, Stayner's sister said their brother did not seek counselling because their father claimed he did not need it. She said
the 80s,
he got...
Yeah, 1980.
Something
Beginning of the 80s.
There's just a whole period of time where people were just like, no, we'll
Just
toughen it up. We'll be
shut
fine.
up. Yeah,
Don't
yeah,
complain.
Yeah.
Don't embarrass. Like you're just dredging it all up again. I don't really want to know what's going on. I think there's a bit of that to it too.
Yeah.
Oh, terrible.
Yeah. And so then also, not only did he have that difficulty at home, he was regularly teased by other children
Oh,
at
nice.
school for being molested,
Oh my
and he
God.
eventually dropped out of school.
Kids are assholes. I'm telling you.
absolute
Are
pricks,
they
yeah.
what?
Mm.
Stephen began to drink more often and was eventually kicked out of his family's house.
Poor
Oh,
guy.
could you imagine? Oh, that's awful.
It
He just
is.
needs someone to look after him.
Yeah, exactly right.
Even if it's not in his own family, like somebody needs to be helping him.
But I think too in the 1980s, it was probably a lot of that. If you're drinking too much and you're a problem
Oh, yeah,
child,
yeah.
maybe
There's no
you just reach
sympathy.
an age where they go, get out.
Get out.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was no sympathy. Yeah.
Kenneth was convicted. So trial and sentencing. Kenneth was convicted of the kidnapping of Steven Stayner and Timothy White in 1981 and sentenced to 7 years in prison for White and 20 months in prison for kidnapping Stayner.
What?
Right? The short sentence was due to the statute of limitations for
Oh.
sexual assault.
Stop it.
Horrendous. And as a result, Kenneth was not charged with the abuse he inflicted on Stephen.
Oh, this
This
all
was-
adds insult to injury for this poor kid. Bloody hell.
This was even after
you really
testifying
don't
to these
matter.
actions. Yeah,
Poor
right?
Stephen.
Exactly
You
that.
don't matter, Stephen.
So he even testified to these actions in court, and it was still, oh, well, can't do anything. So then Kenneth served 5 years and 1 month before being released on parole. Obviously good behaviour because there's no freaking
Kiddies.
kiddies in prison with him. After being let go, Parnell bounced around California and he was required to register as a high-risk sex offender. Murphy claimed he stayed with Parnell and Stephen for only 2 months before returning to his job in Yosemite. As a result, he claimed he was innocent of the worst of the crimes against Stephen. The judge wasn't having any of this shit and rejected Murphy's claims of innocence, telling him telling him the part he had in the crime was very significant. We can take no comfort in the fact that you were directly involved for only the first 2 months. Involvement for a day or two would have been enough, which I really liked.
Yes.
Interestingly, he was sentenced to 5 years in prison.
Oh. What, because it was more recent?
Not that much different to Kenneth, who was a pedophile that masterminded the whole plan. Murphy was paroled 2 years after 2 years. Upon his arrest, Portman immediately confessed to how he collaborated with Parnell to abduct Timothy. After being tried as a minor, he was sent to a youth rehabilitation camp.
I just don't understand how, particularly Kenneth, who has priors, just gets, does 5 years.
Oh, fuck the statute of limitations. Like, what?
So bad.
But
You're a
even
multiple kiddie fiddler.
Even if you couldn't bring charges about Stephen, he still abducted another child. He's got priors. He's a danger to society. He shouldn't have been allowed out 5 seconds later.
It's remarkable, isn't it?
Shocking.
So in 1985, Stephen married 17-year-old Jodie Edmondson, and they had 2 children.
What year was that? Sorry, you did say it.
1985. It can't
It's not
be that
after
because
he's come out.
he was born in 72. I reckon that year's wrong. So apologies for
95
that.
maybe?
Oh, not necessarily. He was released he found his freedom in 80. So 5 years later, he's lived
But
at
he
home
was
while he's been
born-
kicked
He's
out.
only about 14 or 15, love.
Oh, I see.
1972. Was he born in 72?
Yeah, he was born in 72, I said. So,
Right.
but something's wrong with that timeline.
That's not right. I don't think he was
Maybe
born in
it's
72.
1995.
Because
Or
in 1980 was when he was
Or was he abducted in 1972? He was
Correct.
abducted in
on
72.
the December 4th. It was
Oh,
abducted
sorry,
then.
He
Yeah.
was
yes.
70.
That's where I got it
He was
right.
Yes.
7-ish. So 1965. So 85. Yeah, 20.
That makes
yeah.
sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that does make
yes.
sense. I think
okay.
that's right.
3,
Abducted,
2,
that's
1. I'm back in
Back
the
in the
room.
room.
Thank you for helping me with my
Now,
story.
if you really want to do a Swanee, then you just need to change his name at this point and get that wrong too. That's what I like to do.
Okay.
Call it call him something similar but not the same, and
So
then stick with it for a couple of
Devon
minutes.
married 17-year-old Jodie Edmondson. So in 1985, Stephen married 17-year-old Jodie Edmondson, and they had 2 children. Stephen worked with child abduction groups and spoke to children about personal safety,
Good.
and he was also vocal against the leniency of Parnell's sentence, considering the penalty was less than the duration of his captivity.
Was there a lot of child abuse happening? Because this was like the height of, for me, in my memory, the Stranger Danger neighbourhood watch thing. Like
I
95,
think-
86, 86.
I think it was after that.
Yeah.
No, because I was in grade
No?
6, and so I remember
Okay.
being, and even earlier, 84, being told, the houses that had the little, they had a little
Oh, the
plaque
house
on them.
with a smile on
Yeah,
it?
the smiley face.
What was
whatever.
that called?
It was part of
Neighbourhood
Neighbourhood
Watch.
Watch, yeah.
Neighbourhood
And
Watch,
if you
yeah.
thought you were in trouble with something, you were supposed to run into one of those houses. I don't know how they
Now you think
qualified
about it
the
and go,
people.
yeah.
How did they qualify the people who had
I
those
do
things?
worry,
I don't
given
know.
what we know
But,
now. Guess who would
yeah,
have been
but
at
I
the
just
feel
wondered, was it a
like-
big thing at the time?
I think pedophilia, in my recollection, was part of normal life, as in there was a pedophile. I think everybody knew of at least one person who was a pedophile or rumoured to be a pedophile or labelled as a pedophile. It wasn't, I think it was more
People used
commonly
to joke
spoken
about
of.
it.
Yeah, that's what I think.
I don't know that I don't recall someone saying the person at number blah blah is a pedophile, but I certainly recall being warned by my mum about people following you and all those sorts of things. So yes, I think it was not like, I think sometimes there's this sense that back in the olden days everything was like much more sanitized and people didn't do these things, and almost like sexual abuse of children is almost new, and it's not. It's been around forever.
No, of
Yeah.
course. It's
Yeah.
and I think it's
No.
been around. It's been more that sort of thing you sweep under the carpet. So, you
Yes.
know that somebody's done it. You don't talk about it.
Why you
You
wouldn't pitchfork
still
and
keep your
you know.
kids around. Swanee, I think we've discussed this before. Didn't you
Yeah.
say there's a
Someone at the
gardener at your school?
Someone at her school,
Yeah.
and she got in trouble for
And I got in trouble. That was
making
one
some
of the 2
comment.
times I got
Yeah.
sent to the office because I told him that Sharon White was in love with him. But yeah, he was a fairly young man actually. He wasn't an
Yeah.
old guy, but we were told to stay away from him. But he was one of the caretakers or gardeners at the school.
Yeah, we had a scout leader who was, and I think we've discussed that in previous episodes too.
Oh,
So, yeah,
God.
it was a thing. I didn't go to church, luckily. So, however, despite his great work in this space, the internal damage was already done and difficult to undo. Stephen struggled with alcohol dependency and cycled through jobs. His driver's license was also suspended 3 times. In the mid-1980s, true crime began to attract a significant viewership, and Lorimer Television
it?
and the Andrew Adelson Company, apparently,
Mm.
approached the Stayners to secure film rights to the story. Stephen was paid $30,000 and became a consultant to ensure the details of the
Ugh,
captivity as
yuck.
depicted were accurate. I know it's
That's a bit sick. Makes him
the
relive it all.
Yeah. The NBC miniseries I Know My First Name is Stephen aired in 1989 and drew an audience of 40 million. That sounds like an awful lot for then.
Yeah.
At 5:30 p.m. on September 16, 1989, Stephen was riding his motorcycle home from his job at Pizza Hut when a car pulled out of the side road and
Oh
stalled.
no.
Stephen slammed into the driver's side door and flew 45 feet over the vehicle. The driver of the car fled the scene. Stephen was not wearing a helmet, as
Oh,
lots of
God.
people didn't back then, and was riding with an invalid license. He sustained major head injuries and was pronounced dead at the Merced Community Hospital. At the time, he was just 24 years old.
Fucking hell.
What a life.
Yeah.
The driver of the car, Antonio Luera, was later identified by witnesses. Luera was sentenced to 3 months in prison for hit and run, but was found not guilty of manslaughter. 500 people attended Stayner's funeral, at which 14-year-old Timothy White was a pallbearer.
Mm. That
10
is so
years.
sad.
So sad. So even the bloke
Awful.
who was driving the other car, didn't get much of a sentence. And, he's stalled his car, but he's come out of a side road where he shouldn't have.
Yeah. It's just, as you say, Swanee, you don't matter, Stephen.
Yeah.
Could the universe give you any more messages that
No.
you're not important? How dreadful.
So, yeah, like really, really sad. So 10 years after his death, the city of Merced asked its residents to propose names for city parks honouring Merced's notable citizens. Stayner's parents proposed that one be named Stayner Park. This was, I think, quite a popular idea until it was eventually rejected, and the honour was instead given to another Merced resident because of Stephen's brother Carey. But more
that's
on him
another
later.
story. Oh.
So that is the story of Steven Stayner, part 1 in the story of Stephen and Carey Stayner. Next week, I'll bring you part 2, but for now, I'd love to hear your thoughts on Stephen's story.
It's really quite heartbreaking. I don't often say
is
that.
tragic.
Like, normally I'm disgusted and shocked. But that's just so sad. What a life. Just
And he had 2
stolen from him.
kids too. And they would have
Oh.
been, what, 3, 4 years old by
Little,
then?
yeah.
Because we after we did the
He was
maths, we
married in
worked out.
85.
Yeah, married in 85, had 2 kids, died in 89.
Yeah.
Just terrible.
Little, yeah.
Oh,
Do you remember the story of Sylvia Likens, who was the
Yeah.
one who was, there's
Abused
a
to
little bit
death,
of
yeah.
that feeling with this where you
How
just
can you
go,
ever forget
"God,
the story of
how?"
Sylvia Likens?
Well, no, I can't. I can
That
never
is
forget that.
up there on our top 10 of bad stories.
Oh,
Yeah.
horror! But there's a little bit of that. My God, what a tragic life kind of thing. There's what could have been,
Mm.
but for Kenneth Parnell.
And even in some ways, it's kind of odd, but in his situation when he was with Kenneth, he was doing all right at school though, right? Because no one knew that he was being
Yes.
molested, etc. So, yeah, he probably had a fair degree of academic capability or, enjoyed the school. And then that gets ruined for him too because everyone knows he's been molested. Those prick kids at school pick on him. It's just, you can't
Yep.
get a break.
No.
Cannot.
It was just one
Can't catch
One-
a break.
situation, even at home, being kicked out and, having issues with his siblings and stuff. He didn't fit anywhere. He wasn't accepted anywhere or made to feel that he was loved or important enough for the punishment for the people who had done stuff to him for it to be in.
And look, no shade on his parents because I don't know anything about them really, but the fact that he accepted immediately the story that he wasn't wanted, you've got to ask
This
yourself,
question, yeah.
what was his life prior like that you would
Yeah,
accept that?
I don't think there's any suggestion that it wasn't a normal life, but maybe just being one of 5. If their love is spread
They weren't
thinly
poor?
over a whole lot of kids, I don't know, but I don't think
I
there's
imagine
anything that
everybody
kind
would
of,
be in that place in that time.
yeah,
I don't think it'd be a
Yeah,
very
okay.
affluent kind of area. It's that I've talked about it before. There's a lot of stories that we've covered that have been in that strip of land, which again is the fruit basket of America, whatever else they call it.
Yeah,
The salad bowl.
salad bowl.
Salad bowl, that's it. It's in that, leaving San Francisco, the Bay Area, then there's this like strip that runs all the way down to California. And we have gone up and down there so many
Yeah.
times with these crimes where the people are leaving Los Angeles or leaving San Francisco or they're from these places. I mean, it's quite remarkable really before you then head out to like Yosemite and the mountain range in that Mariposa County, which came up again in this story. It's unbelievable. Kind of hideout country, kind of just far enough away from the city, but not very nice. A lot of naughty things going on out there.
Naughty.
Naughty.
And what about that woman?
Oh, Barbara.
Yes,
Yeah, she needs a nut punch.
she needs a full-on nut punch.
That's
She's
something that I don't think
disgusting.
I really get my head around
They're
as
all
a
disgusting, but-
female. When
A female abusing a child?
there's so often men who are these predators who
Yeah.
particularly prey on children. And then when a woman's introduced to this story, any story, it stops me in my tracks, and I just go, I don't get it. And so many times they're helping a man to get, for their affection or whatever else. But I mean, sometimes it's for their own good. They're not own good, their own
enjoyment, pleasure,
enjoyment.
blah, blah.
Yeah, or
Well, that's what you did. Another of the top 10 bad ones, the toy box killers.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I'm always surprised at how 2 people like that find each other
Water finds its own level.
Certainly back then,
Fine.
right? Now you can advertise who you
Yeah,
are
now
and
you
find
don't
those
know.
connections. In those days, how did you introduce the idea
The
that you were
idea
into
of
that
it,
kind of
yeah.
stuff? Yeah, you would have
Like,
had to
I've
verbalize
got
it.
this kid I abuse. Do you want to come over and play with him?
How do you feel about kids? Do you
You
want
ask
any?
the wrong
I
person
prefer
and they're
to.
straight to the cops.
I prefer to rape them.
Like,
Oh, that's interesting. What a
Oh,
coinky
Deirdre
dink.
Chambers, what a coincidence. I'm
Exactly.
quite partial to abuse
Oh,
too.
yuck.
Well,
You're
look at
right.
us.
You're right. I mean, how do they?
Ugh.
I don't know. What did that meet cute look like?
oh God.
Because where I don't understand, what I do think is if people are, there are stories where people, if they're having a sexual relationship and they introduce things because that's what's going to get them off.
Yeah.
That is a starting point I can understand because they've come together because there was a level of attraction between the two of them and then then they do whatever they want and introduce different things. But this idea, this pedophilia thing, I don't understand, particularly going back. How would they have known?
I think I know.
Do they wear
I think
brooches or something?
Clarky put me onto it. They hang out at the front of the school, right?
That's
school
exactly
bell-
what I was going to
School
say.
bell
Yeah.
goes. They're looking at the kids, and one of them says to the other one, "Your
here,
kid
pick up
go
the-"
here? No. Oh, what about you? No. What
Oh,
a coinky dink. Maybe that's how they find each
I
other.
was
Horrifying.
thinking more along the lines of, let's go on a date. Where should we go? Oh, well, I've got to pick my kid up at the school. How about I meet you there half an hour before pickup?
Ooh,
And they
I'd
go
love
and
that.
sit there and have a little meet cute out the front of the
Gross.
school. Disgusting, but
But,
yeah,
but it's like, how do they identify? You're
very
right, Sonia. It's
scary.
weird. Yeah.
Whereas now
So
I
I
think
think
it's just
just log on.
there's a story
Yeah.
that's being a story. It's not quite right. There's an investigation going on currently in Western Australia, so it's like an active story. And I think I might have mentioned to you there's a children's author who has been at my kid's school. Like he's a well-known children's author. He's been totally done for child pornography, etc., etc.
Oh,
And he had a grandma somehow involved and helping him and supplying him with material and whatever else.
grooming.
A local grandma, yeah, someone's
So
grandma.
What?
And I'm like, this is the stuff where you just go, oh God, you just don't know what people are doing.
No.
Sick fucks. Ugh.
Sick fucks.
They are sick fucks, though.
Yeah, feel
Yeah,
free to
no,
quote
I
me on that.
agree.
I'm quite comfortable with that.
Yeah.
I won't cut
yeah.
that out. It's fine.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll call this episode Sick Fucks.
Sick fucks.
Oh, it's so gross, isn't it? So I don't get it. I don't.
You're not supposed to, darling. Don't worry about it.
Good. No, I know. But I mean, sometimes we try to work out the mind, or to some degree, but not at this sort of stuff. It's like this is something.
What-
You're a wrong'un. You're a wrong'un. And yes, I'm even harsher about female wrong'uns, I've got to say, because it's just not that it's good for
It's
blokes
very
either, but it's
counterintuitive, isn't it?
really
Yeah.
rewired, like unwired, wrong wiring, like so counterintuitive. Yeah, so odd.
This
I
story
don't-
where sorry, Clarky.
It's just
Okay,
bad
you're
for
right.
men, though, really,
This
when you
is
think about
I
it.
don't want to
Yeah, I
underplay it, but there's that saying which is a series of misfortunate incidents. This is a series of just
Poor Steve.
life-changing, soul-destroying incidents where this kid has just not had a break.
No.
Awful the whole way through. No
And yet he
no
hasn't.
one standing in.
And the worst thing, or not the worst thing, but one of the things that stands out is how he did not then become like them. Like, so when asked to help kidnap someone, he just said no. He didn't contribute to any of this sort of stuff. In fact, got the kid out of there. But, that the amount of kind of fortitude to do that and having been manipulated and conned all that time to believe something and to come away from that, would have taken so much, to your point, Swanee. And then, we're home now. It doesn't really fit in, but oh well.
I
and
hope
then
that
get
he
out,
found
you're drinking
some
too much.
peace and had
Yeah.
a nice couple of years with his wife and babies. I just hope there was
You'd like to
something.
think he also
Who knows?
goes
It
to
probably
the
was
good
awful too.
place.
Who knows? But we'll never know, I guess. But unless the wife has spoken out, but I dare say that probably is something they just couldn't have.
It's just dreadful. But you'd like to think he goes to the good place too.
Yes.
And that he gets a break somewhere else.
Yeah, I
'Cause
certainly hope
what
he
a
gets
shitty life that
come to the
was.
front of the line and he can be the first at the buffet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have the nice soft bed. Yeah.
I do struggle with statute of limitations
Yeah.
with this.
I was waiting.
There's shit people doing shit things, but the legal system needs to be better.
I
It
don't
feels
understand.
short to me, though.
It's very short.
It's very short because we've talked about crimes where it goes back decades. This didn't.
If they
That's
had
right.
him for 7 years
It
and then
feels
in
like someone
85, it's
Yeah.
like, well, statute of limitations
born
on abusing a child is 15 minutes.
Oh.
You're like,
Yeah,
what?
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're good.
Oh,
That
no,
was-
we've
that's
both
old
had
news.
showers now. It's fine.
Maybe it's 10 years, but still, what? That can't be right. Like if he was being tried for it in 85, it was still raping that child 10 years earlier. I don't understand it.
No.
Yes, so I agree with you. Is that changed? Do you know if that's changed?
I would 100%
so.
think it has. I couldn't believe that. I mean, I still can't believe that's right. Maybe I've got a dodgy source or something with that, but it just
shocking. But I mean, he only did 5 years. That's known. And then he got out, and then he didn't get hit by a car.
No,
I know, right?
And the irony is, I was thinking about sentences early in the story, and you said something along the lines of what did you use the word, like he not floated around, he bobbed around, or he
bounced around.
Bounced around, thank you. And in my sentencing brain, I was already thinking, okay, what could we do with this guy? And I don't know if you've noticed this, but I have noticed, Tony and I watch a lot of crime shows or lots of sort of dramatic stuff. And the rate of people being hit by a vehicle in a show has gone up exponentially. So every time you see someone cross the road, nowadays it's something like, in my mind, 6 out of 10 times you see a person on television cross the road in a dramatic storytelling, the next thing you know, they're hit by a bus or they're hit by a car.
By a bus.
Yeah. And before you even went down the path of Stephen dying in a road accident, I was wanting to run Kenneth over with a bus because he can bounce around in that way. That's what I was thinking as a sentence.
Can it be a double bus so that there's more wheels?
Yeah, it can. Yeah, sure.
So it bounces around a bit more.
And it can be a double-decker, so it's heavier too, so it hurts more and it goes over you too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I was thinking about that because there's so many times now a person on telly can't cross the road these days without getting hit by a car. Now I've said it, you might notice it. All right, so I'm happy to run the nasty pedo Kenneth over.
Kenneth, yeah.
Yeah, Barbara.
And Barbara as well.
Barbara, I don't know, she's a special place in hell for her in some ways. We don't know what happened to her, do we? She just left the household.
No, and we don't know if she was a repeat offender like Kenneth, so she might not have been as bad.
I don't care.
I mean, Baron Barbara would be good.
I despise Kenneth just stealing someone from their parents and
Yeah,
telling them that,
Kenneth
and not
is
even
awful.
just stealing you and abusing you,
abusing
but
you and then
telling
letting
you
you go.
that they no longer wanted you.
The psychological abuse
That
as
is
well, and the
horrendous.
emotional
Abducted
abuse,
you.
and then the sexual assault and all the rest of it.
Well,
and
I've
now I'm your
adopted you, not
daddy.
abducted.
Yeah, exactly. It's
I've done
that.
both, but yes,
That is. Oh,
it is,
God.
and it's like, well, I'm your daddy now, and but also my old daddy didn't used to do these things to me.
No.
Yeah.
It's so awful for that boy. That's
awful.
a
It's so
sad
upsetting.
story.
It is sad. It's just,
Yeah.
God, icky.
God, and God knows what Kerry does, because then we can't even honour poor old Steven.
Yeah,
with
exactly.
the frickin' park
What
name. What the fuck has Kerry done? Yeah, we'll find out next week. Well, thanks a lot, Clarky, for that one. And as we say every week, miss you already.
Ciao.
Bye.
Ciao. Thanks for listening to Trial by Wine. You can contact us at trialbywine@gmail.com. Please rate, review and subscribe to Trial by Wine on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. If you'd like to support us, you can become a patron at www.patreon.com, Trial by Wine, or visit our website www.trialbywine.com to donate to us. Your support will help us cover many more cases and apply wacky sentences. We really appreciate you listening and hope you tell everyone about us. Our cover art is by John Christo and music is by Beauchamp from pixabay.com.